What's up, everybody? I'm Caleb with On the Wrong Lead. Today we're going to do a quick 5-minute video on getting started with StableDuel. So we've been covering a lot of StableDuel lately, and we've been getting a lot of questions in chat. What is StableDuel? How does it work? How can I play? Where do I go? So the purpose of this video is to really just scratch the surface on how you can get started playing StableDuel. We will have a follow-up video that talks more in depth on strategy and more advanced tactics, but this is really just for the folks who don't know anything about it and want to start playing. So let's just jump right in. Question number 1, what is StableDuel? Well, StableDuel is a daily fantasy sports platform for horse racing. Think of it as DraftKings or FanDuel for horse racing. So the general premise involves selecting 10 horses from a given contest at a given track to build your stable. You have a set budget, and each horse has a certain price tag that's associated with that horse. That price is based on the morning line odds of the horse when the morning lines are set the day before or the morning of. So to put that in football terms, it's like spending $10,000 to have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback or $2,000 to have Sam Darnold as your quarterback. You're spending a lot more on Aaron Rodgers, but you're also expecting to get better production and more touchdowns and more yards and completions and things like that. So once you pick 10 horses that fit within your budget, first post comes, the race is locked, and all you have to do is watch and root. So your horses will either earn or lose points in every race, depending on where they finish and by how much they either win or lose by. At the end of the day, you're trying to create a stable that has the highest point total in the contest and win that money. So right now, StableDuel is offered as a mobile app on Android and on iPhone. Currently unavailable on desktop, but I do think there may be something in the works down the road. Okay, so we've kind of scratched the surface of what is StableDuel, but how do you play? How do you build your stable? Well, your starting budget is $50,000, and you have to select 10 horses. Each horse, as we mentioned before, has a price tag that's associated with it based on its morning line. And the bigger the favorite, the more expensive that horse is going to be. If you really want to pick Gamine for your stable because you think she can't lose, but she's 1 to 9, you need to be aware that she's going to cost you $20,000. And when you only have $50,000 for your entire stable, that doesn't leave you much money for your other 9 runners that you have to fill out. So you have to weigh the trade-offs and the pros and cons when going for big favorites versus going for some long shots that are cheap. I do want to clarify that there's a couple things to note. First, you must select 10 horses, but you don't have to select 1 horse per race. You can double up, triple up. You can use every horse in the race if you really want to. I wouldn't recommend that, but that is your option. Alternatively, you can skip races. If you just have no idea in a race, you can skip a race and then double up somewhere else to make up for it. So as long as you have 10 runners that fit within your budget, you're good to go. Okay, so let's say that you've built your stable, you got 10 horses under budget, and you have a race go off. How does the scoring work? So each horse is going to earn or lose points based on its finishing position and its margin of victory or defeat. You can see off to the right here, this is the official scoring table. So first place would give you 60 points. Second place would give you 40 points. Third place 30, fourth place 20, and fifth place 10. It's important to note that 5th place is the last finishing position that does award points. That is regardless of field size. If it's a 5-horse field or if it's a 15-horse field, it never pays out more than the top 5, and it never pays out less than the top 5. So it is important to note that 6th or worse is not going to earn you any positive points. Okay, simple enough so far. It does get a little more complicated when you start talking about finishing margins and point adjustments, but I promise it's not that bad. So your horse will earn or lose points based on its margin of victory or its margin of defeat against the horse that won. So let's give an example. Let's say that earlier in the race you used Gamine and she wins by 5 lengths. Well, you're going to get 60 points for that win, plus 1 point for each length that she beat the second place horse by. So you're going to get 60 points for the win, plus 5 lengths for the 5-length margin of victory. So you'll earn 65 points for Gamine. Let's say that you used another horse in that race instead of Gamine, who ran second in that race. The same concept applies, but now you're talking about a margin of defeat instead of a margin of victory. So that's going to be a negative point adjustment. You're going to start off with your 40 points for running second, but as you are beaten 5 lengths to Gamine, you're going to lose 5 points. So you're going to earn 40 points minus 5 points to give you 35 points for that race. It actually does have an adjustment all the way down to a finishing margin of a nose, but I wouldn't worry too much about anything less than a length, as it's really quite minor. A couple other things to clarify. It is possible to earn negative points, and quite frequently does it happen. If you have a horse that runs 6th or worse, you are going to get negative points for that horse because you have no positive points earned and you're going to lose points for the margin of defeat. Alternatively, you can lose points on a horse that actually does run 5th. If your horse runs 5th to Gamine but is beaten 20 lengths, you're going to get 10 points for running 5th, but you're going to lose 20 points for getting beat 20 lengths, which means you're actually going to have a net result of a minus 10 points in that race. There is a maximum negative cap of minus 30 points for any horse in a race, but there is no cap on the total amount of positive points you can earn. And the last point of clarification is that when talking about margin of defeat, it's always relative to the ultimate winner. It's not relative to the horse that finished 1 position ahead of yours. All right, so pretty simple so far. And that's really all you need to know to get into the game. So now if you want to know, okay, I think I got the gist of it, I want to play, well, the first thing you have to do is download StableDuel. So you can check out the link below. That's our On the Wrong Lead link. It'll just do us a little bit of a help if you want to use that link. Otherwise, it's in the App Store, it's in the Google Play Store. You can download it off StableDuel's website. You create an account, and I kind of threw this quick screenshot in here just to show y'all what it's going to look like. I have the Android app, so I don't know if it looks much different than iPhone, but this is going to be your homepage where it has some information about your profile. When you tab over here and click on the racetrack icon, it's going to let you pick a date, show you what tracks have contests available for that day. And then once you click a given track, it's going to show you what contests are available. StableDuel offers all kinds of contests. They have a lot of free contests, honestly. So if you just want to try it and you're not so sure about it yet, jump into a free contest or jump into a $5 contest just to get your feet wet. And then when you start to get more comfortable and confident, go ahead and move up into some of those higher dollar contests. We will have a follow-up video that's going to be more about in-depth strategy and some general tactics for building stables. But until then, good luck with StableDuel and play, race, and win.